How's it going, Charles Botenston? So today we're going to be talking about something that, I've talked about being an observer of conversations, being an observer of life, seeing the lifestyle of what people are living. How are they living? What are they doing? The money they're making and everything else, and reverse engineering that. I'm about to talk about that in another video, but really today we're going to be talking about the quality of the conversations that you're having. Listen, I just had a video about the quality of your friends. The quality of your friends, especially as you grow, are going to be a direct proportion of the quality of the conversations you're having, okay? So what does that mean? Normally when you talk to people that you don't know, you talk about the weather or sports or their day or, I don't know, something that may have happened. Someone spilt a drink and you're like, oh, and that's a very surface level conversation. There's no depth to that. It's just essentially what happened. It's like slapstick humor. What I really like about someone, say like Louis C.K. or even Seinfeld, a little not as much Seinfeld because Seinfeld doesn't go as deep, but Louis C.K., he takes the joke and he goes and he goes and he goes and he goes and he goes, pushes it, and pushes it, pushes it, pushes it, pushes it. And that's essentially what a good conversation is you go and you go and you go and you go. The weather, okay? So you could talk about the weather. How deep can you go into the weather? Well, you could look at the clouds and you could say, wow, how does a cloud actually get that formation? How does it get that color? How is it moving faster than maybe other clouds? Is it moving faster because it's lower and it's closer to us? Or is the cloud moving faster because there's a stronger breeze or there's less water in the cloud? And I'm like literally just ad-libbing this. I didn't even think of that. But that's going deeper into a conversation. You could take the most mundane part of your day. So number one is, what are the depths of your conversation? How deep are you going to a conversation? This is really funny too, because I remember listening to Tony Robbins' wife, Sage. She's beautiful, and you can see that there's great chemistry, but sometimes in Tony Robbins will say something, and I'm like, how is his life so perfect? But it's because he works on it every single day. As Jim Rome says, you have to stand guard at the gate of your mind every single day. And if you start letting in news and social media and negativity and bad people and blah, blah, blah into your life, debt and credit cards and whatever, that's the type of life you're going to start to live. So every single day you have to stand guard at the gate of your mind. The second thing is what Sage, his wife, said. She said, we like people that go deep into conversations. And it was one of those things that I could be saying now or in the future, and you're like, what? I don't understand that. And that's the thing, is don't use these videos or any book or seminar or anything else as entertainment. Like, yeah, I don't know, hopefully I'm a little entertaining, but use everything as questioning. Question what I say, question what I do, question where I'm filming or whatever. Be like, do I like it? Do I not like it? What is he saying? Does this apply to me? Just question everything. I don't really care. Criticize it or praise it or whatever. And you do you. And that's the thing, is that Sage said that. She said, we like people that like having quality conversations. I didn't understand that at the time, but I said, I'm going to question that. So I started thinking about it, and then I started witnessing in my life the people that I had quality conversations with, the conversations that someone was able to banter once we started talking about clouds. We could even be talking about clouds or whatever. And this is how you notice when you have not deep conversations or the quality of your conversations aren't good, is that when someone starts making fun of the conversation. In other words, you start talking about the clouds and you're like, I wonder why it's moving fast, or the color of it, it's a darker gray instead of a lighter cloud, or why the circle is so defined as opposed to, and what's funny is I'm indoors and I'm literally imagining this. Or the cloud is spread out or whatever. And if someone starts making fun of that, you know that they don't either have the imagination to continue a conversation like that, or they don't want to question things that maybe should be easily Googled. In other words, you can easily Google and understand that, instead of having a deep conversation about potentially theories about it. People don't want to look wrong. I have no problem looking wrong. That's one of the biggest things that I've changed around in 2016. I used to have a huge ego, a really, really big ego. How many people liked this photo? How many people commented on a photo or an Instagram or a post, or I'm in a conversation, I look like an idiot or whatever. It's like now, and you can see it, the quality of the videos are more vulnerable. It's like, whatever. now, to be honest. And that's observing life. You have to observe it. So right now, in the previous video, go back and look at it. It was only a couple of days ago about the quality of your friends. The quality of your friends are an exact proportion to the quality of your conversations that you're going to have with them. How deep are you going into the conversation? And the reason being is that you can go deep into any conversation: finances, social media, a book that you read, people that you've met, or how I do it. This is really funny. I read a book. It was the Rockefeller Habits 2.0, and it's one of the best books I've ever read in my life. It was amazing. Highly recommend it. Rockefeller Habits 2.0. And I was actually going to do a video review of it, but it's just so very time consuming to do a book review because I write about it, blah, blah. But in there, they mention, I forgot what I was going to say. Something good. It was going to be something good. The quality of, so he was talking about finance, and he went really deep into finance, and it was an area that I was not particularly confident in, but I really wanted to learn about. And the reason I wasn't confident in it because I never wanted to understand it. I actually shunned it. I wanted to shun it away from my life. And that's the thing. Same thing about deep conversations is that if you start shunning things away from your life, a deep conversation about love or a relationship you're in. That's why a lot of relationships end. They say that it's finances. Yeah, it's finances because they have to pull back on their lifestyle or something. That's the number one reason for divorces is financial problems. But the thing is it really the financial problems, or is it the lack of transparency to the financial, where the husband or the wife or whatever are overspending, or they're not making as much money, or they have to pull back on their lifestyle, or they have to give up the membership at the golf club, or the beautiful car that they have, or the house they have, or the private school that the children, and they don't actually communicate it. And that's the quality of the conversation that they're having. I'm telling you right now, if you don't have quality conversations, not only is your brain not being the myelin within your growth, and that's by Dan Coyle, Coyle, I think is his name. He came out with the book, good book. Just look it up, Dan, Coyle. Good book. Not, ideal. I wouldn't go out and buy it. But myelin, essentially, we always thought that the brain was stagnant. Once you're born, it just stops growing. But the thing is, what really stimulates the brain is two things. There's many things, but the two things that you should do is new experiences, which is pushing your fear, pushing your limits, where you have to figure something out, like going up on stage and doing stand-up, or a complex problem, or categories, or something that really uses your brain. And the second thing is new conversations that make you question something. So in other words, the new experiences, which is going to another country, things like that. And then the other part is actually questioning and analyzing and figuring something out, because that gives you the myelin in your brain is like this little covering on your brain that essentially it's like a clear thing that they've noticed that in athletes that are elite athletes or elite musicians or singers or someone that's really, really smart, they've noticed that the myelin and the dendrites and everything else in your brain that actually makes it fire, and all the synapses and all those things that make your brain analyze and figure out a project are thicker in people that continuously do crossword puzzles or Sudoku or things that really push their limits all the time. Not something that they could easily figure out. Or Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, or however you say his name, he came out with the book Flow. He said that you have to push it where it's like it's not too hard and it's not too easy and you're in a flow state. And that's essentially how you should be in conversations. I can't tell you, when Sage said that about being with people that have quality conversations, I cannot tell you how much that really hit me when I figured it out. And I said, okay, I'm going to start observing the conversations, and you'll be shocked at the conversations. If you have really boring, really surface level conversations, and it's the same thing with slapstick humor, or someone slipped on a banana peel and that's really funny, that's like, da 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 da, kind of, like, oh, yeah, laugh at that. Louis C.K., no, he pushes, and he just goes deeper into the joke. And then he'll reverse it at the end. And it's like, that's brilliant. And that's an amazing conversation. And that's the kind of conversations you want to have with quality people, especially as you start growing. So start observing the conversations you're in, and start observing you pushing the conversation. start questioning the things that are around you. Start questioning the people or the things that you're being told and that are accepted. You know, people accept that there's clouds and rain and seasons and weather and things like that. Start questioning and start learning about it. Start Googling it. You know, perfect example is my sister. She's traveling all over the world for the last couple of months and everything like that, and she's learning how to do a bunch of things. And what's funny is that she's asking me to help her with it. And ironically enough, with the difference between her and I, she's willing to go and ask for help. For me, I don't know, maybe it's just an ego thing where I just want to Google it and learn it on my own and fail and then learn. And it's just two different approaches. It's the same thing with Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk, I know I'm going over 10 minutes. Gary Vaynerchuk, he just really just takes action. And that's how he learns things. He takes action, he goes, no, that doesn't work, and then he adjusts. For me, I want to learn it and then do it. All right? And then there's a difference between learning it and not doing it. All right? So look at the quality of the conversations you're having right now. Observe that. That's your goal and your homework is the quality of your conversations equal the quality of your friends, which equals the quality of your life. That's really what it comes down to. How do you have quality conversations? You start questioning, you start pushing it, you start asking things a little bit deeper into the conversation. Like I said about the cloud example, like I was just saying that right now, or finances, or a business, you know. And what I was going to say about the Rockefeller habits, this is the last thing I'll leave you with, is that now I literally look around for business ideas. You know, I'll walk into Starbucks and I'll be like, wow, that is brilliant how they're able to actually monetize small little things like gift cards or candy or gum, or now they're bringing alcohol in Starbucks. You know, it's such a brilliant idea by Howard Schultz. He's always looking to push it, and that's it. So look at the quality of the conversations in your life. Go subscribe to the video, and obviously go to itsalife.style. Go sign up for the things, because sign up for the website, because I'm literally going to be pushing some awesome content there. And that's the only way you're going to be going over there, is if I give you content over there until finally it's self-sustaining and everything else. So share this. Have an awesome day. Talk to you guys soon. Subscribe to the video.